Okay. Next question I'd like to ask is, how is the movie going? Because I know a lot of people have been wondering about this.
The movie's been going really well. You know, the first few years of the franchise, everybody was trying to get a movie out as fast as possible, like to catch the hype wave and stuff. But now looking back, I'm really glad that didn't happen, because something that I've really started to come to want over these last few years is I want that movie to be able to stand on its own as a good movie and not ride the coattails of a different part of the franchise, you know, because then, you know, for instance, you know, if you were to make a movie that just had the name Five Nights at Freddy's without a whole lot of emphasis on the quality of the movie itself, then yeah, if it happened during the peak of the popularity of Five Nights at Freddy's, it would do really well. But if the franchise as a whole, you know, had waned a little bit, then the movie wouldn't do well either. Like, I want the movie to stand on its own. Yeah. I want the movie to be good on its own right. I want it to be a great movie. And for that reason, I'm really glad it didn't happen in those first few years, because I think too much emphasis would have been placed on getting it out as fast as possible. And, you know, one of the challenges with the movie, and one of the reasons why it has taken so long, it's actually really difficult to make a script of this. I've had the privilege of working with a couple of studios now, obviously, talked to a lot of directors. I've had a lot of scripts come across my desk. I've had a lot of ideas pitched. And, you know, one of the biggest challenges, and I've written 3 scripts on my own. And I've struggled, honestly, with the same problem as lots of these other directors, which is just the fact that with 8 games, 5 books, including the security log book and the I forget the name
Freddy
of the
Files.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, so with the 8 games, 5 books, you know, just thousands over thousands of videos and fan theories and this and that and timelines and all this stuff. Too many, you know, the people I work with so far have either looked at it all, been completely overwhelmed, and decided to do something completely original, just start completely over, and obviously that doesn't work. And a couple other guys have tried to incorporate everything into some, you know, master script that includes every aspect, every character, every idea, and obviously that doesn't work either, because then it's just a dumpster fire. It's just too much to squeeze into 2 hours. You can't do it. You know, you cannot do it. And, you know, originally the script was going to be based on the books, which eventually I decided was not the way to go. You know, the books were originally designed for people who just wanted extra stories. You know, they wanted a little bit more detail, more story, but that was never intended to be the definitive story of Five Nights at Freddy's. And people who go to see the movie aren't going to want to see a retelling of the books. They're going to want to see the first game. They're going to want to see a retelling of the story that got them interested in the first place. You know, the first game had the right atmosphere, the right characters, and that's what people are going to want. And ideally, if the first movie does really well, I think it would work great as a trilogy. Five Nights at Freddy's 1, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and Five Nights at Freddy's 3, based on the first 3 games. I'm not going to go into the first movie with that mentality, though. You know, I've seen too many good movies get kind of sidetracked by trying to set up future movies. I'm not going to fall into that. I'm just going to really focus on telling a good story with this first one. But yeah, I've seen some interesting things, and I'm going to try to be really careful, you know, not to sound critical of some of the ideas that I've seen, because, like I said, you know, there were a lot of challenges to writing a script for this, even for me, because there's just so much information. But there are some things that I'm really glad never made it. You know, and one of them being that something that I actually heard on, I think it was Matt Pat on a live stream, was musing about bad ideas that could potentially happen in a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and one of the ones that he just brushed off and laughed about was the idea of plush toys coming to life. And I heard that, and that's another time where I wanted to jump in and say something, but I knew that I couldn't, because that is something that actually could have happened. You know, it wasn't a full-blown script, but somebody had that idea and could have implemented it, and there wouldn't have been a whole lot that I could have done about it at the time. So that's a scary thought, and that's kind of the risk, you know, that's kind of the risk of not really understanding a franchise really well, and then trying to come up with something that's I don't know, that would have been that would have been really bad. But yeah, I heard him mention that comment on his live stream. I was thinking to myself, you have no idea that actually almost happened. That specific idea, plush toys coming to life and taking over Manhattan, that actually almost happened.
I actually kind of want to see that now, though.
Well, you know, I don't know. It just maybe it would work better with a different name, but
yeah, I mean the community's so talented and stuff. Maybe they could make a little cartoon or something, like an animation of it happening as a joke.
I don't know, man. but yeah, in short, though, I think that everything's where it needs to be right now. You know.